I love that it can be tame and you can put your foot in it and just blast off, you know. I mean, this thing is fast. This is the Lotus Emira 420 Sport, and it's the fastest production Lotus Emira that you can buy today, topping out at 186 miles per hour, which also makes it the fastest four-cylinder production car in the world. And thanks to the folks at Boardwalk Lotus, I've been lucky enough to get a chance to drive this car, one of the first drives in North America. And we're going to go over all of the things that make it a little bit different than a Turbo SE or a V6, and the reasons you might want to choose this model over the others. This 420 Sport is finished in this beautiful shade of Tangelo orange. It's a really, really deep metallic. The further you look into it, you just see more and more metallic flake. It's a $7,800 option, but well worth it. Lotus has made 7 changes to the Aero of this car all around. None of them cost you in the way of drag. This 420 Sport is outfitted with the lightweight Sport Pack, which is an absolute must-have if you're going to purchase one of these cars. It's got a deeper front splitter, and then we've got the wheel arch vents, and then we've got additional brake cooling. It's also got 25 kilograms more downforce than your standard Emira Turbo. 420 Sport's available in 16 colors, but you're only going to need one, this Tangelo orange, which is exclusive to the 420 Sport. There are also 9 different wheel options that you can outfit this car with. And it's not just a pretty face. Every vent and bit of aero on this car is fully functional. Now, with regards to that dragless aero on the 420 Sport, we'll start with the back, and we've got a new rear diffuser, rear spoiler. We've got the sills down below. These have the optional pinstriping pack on them, side pods, the wheel arch vents, and the front splitter. Back to the back of the 420 Sport, we've got a few changes here. So we've got this clear tinted rear taillights. Again, we're showing the lower diffuser with the pinstriping, but most importantly, we've got the titanium exhaust, and this is the first time Lotus has offered a factory titanium exhaust. And this car's only got 134 miles on it. The exhaust has already got this kind of beautiful blue and purple hues to it, and it really adds to the overall aggressive look of the back end of this car. This car features the lightweight handling pack and the Multimatic damper option. It's also got the Tangelo orange calipers, and Lotus says this car is 55 pounds lighter than your typical Emira. And so this Lotus has been on a diet and is down to 3,132 pounds. As you open the door, you'll see here we've got the orange leather stripe on the door panel. There's also a section of perforated leather with body color leather behind it. You get this really cool effect of the orange coming through the small apertures of the perforated leather. This Emira also has an upgraded steering wheel. So we've got a perforated leather wheel. It's got some carbon fiber accents and then the body color stitching and the orange stripe at the top. We've also moved away from the capacitive touch buttons on the steering wheel, and so now all the controls are actual tactile buttons. The steering wheel feels unbelievable. It's this combination of perforated leather and Alcantara, and it's really fantastic. And again, you see the theme kind of running through here, that it's all body colored, all really, really tastefully done. If you're a Porsche owner who's held off on buying a Lotus because the air conditioning vents were not available in body color, your time has come. The seats are leather with bits of Alcantara and the orange accent stripe. Again, the seats also have the grille with the orange leather backing, and so again, you get this really cool effect with the perforated leather. This Emira also has the seat backs done in the Tangelo orange. They've really brightened up the interior and made it feel like a very custom place, I think, without overdoing it. And while rearward visibility is reduced by about 75% thanks to the carbon fiber louvers on this vehicle, we get a 100% visibility increase in the roof. This car features a removable Targa top. It's essentially a single piece of glass with some retaining bits, and it's really, really easy to take off and remove. It comes with a bag and a way to store it in the rear. And here's one last look at the carbon fiber louvers. This also has the orange pinstriping, which is done by hand. All right, let's drive it. We've got a beautiful day here in San Francisco, and it's hard to imagine a better day than driving a brand new Lotus. So my experience with driving the Emira is all limited to the V6 manual, that Getaway Driving's car here. And I was always interested in the Turbo. What's so cool is just how the cars are different and complement each other. And this one feels, I mean, it's clearly the best that Lotus has to offer in a road car right now, and it really feels that way. It just feels like a really great blend of technology and old school analog performance. And I think it's probably at the sweet spot that is unlikely to return. So Mike, you've driven the Turbo, and this car has the Multimatic suspension. We've been driving around on it already, and like, while it's said to be firm, all I can say is it feels so solid and planted. It just feels unbelievable. Like, I'm curious how it compares for you.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten behind the wheel yet, but I can feel in the seat of my pants here that the suspension is very different from my sport suspension in the V6, and also, of course, what I know about the touring suspension, having driven that around quite a bit. It feels much firmer. This is a sharper, firmer suspension, and it's you can feel it jittering around. It feels like it's a little more susceptible to getting unbalanced over a bump. It
feels very playful,
focused thing. Yes, the turbo car is very playful. That's way more playful than the V6.
You know, and one thing I don't hear people talk about as much, you know, it's like there's always talk about the engagement of the manual, but I think there's something to be said about being able to just like really focus in on where you're going and not having to think about it, but still having the ability to shift quickly. I feel like in a lot of cases you can drive better, maybe even have more fun by, you know, it really just depends on what kind of drive you're going for.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who've come around to PDKs and DCTs on track because they are the faster transmission. And if you just want a time attack, then certainly you're going to do it in a shorter amount of time in a fast shifting automatic. You know, the manual purists I also understand. Of course, I am one. I have one.
Yeah.
And there's that engagement when you don't care about lap times that you know, you're not going to get in a car like this. But what I notice about the Turbo is it engages you in other ways.
Yeah.
It is able to, because it is so playful and able to attack with more torque. It does keep you kind of white knuckle engaged, and I say that in a good way.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I'm, you know, separated from the experience. I feel like I'm still very needed and involved.
Yeah, I mean, and like in the view out front of this car too is just these orange fenders and the arches on top of them. I mean, God, the whole experience of driving this car. I mean, adding the louvers to it too. It just, these little bits add to what was already a special car and makes it even more so. I mean, the fact that the top comes off is also just a huge upgrade.
And super easy, which we did it earlier. These two.
Yeah, it's really just that piece of glass.
Kind of Jeep style, and it lifts right off, and it's really lightweight.
Yeah, I mean, it is the most Lotus, like, Targa top I can imagine. Like, I thought before it might have, like, some rubber surrounds or something, you know, or that,
well, I think it does.
Might have some body.
They're attached to the car.
Totally, but when you lift, I mean, but it's really like, it is simplify and add lightness. It's like, okay, you want a removable top? Here's your piece of glass, you know, and it's awesome, and it suits the car so well. And we were talking too, I'll show a shot of it, but like not enough can be said also about the steering wheel and how great it feels as part of like the overall experience. It really reminds me of the feel of the Elise wheel.
Now you're probably hearing the beeping.
Yeah, there's a lot of beeping.
This is a 2026 car, which means it has the ADAS suite, which means it has speed limit warnings. There's a little blow off.
Yeah.
And they're going off like crazy. You can turn them off, but you have to turn them off at the start of every drive. I know it drives people a little nuts. Driving me a little nuts.
I don't love it, and I'm definitely the kind of person who would forget to turn it off sometimes. To be fair, every Emira I've driven, which is 2 of them, has handled amazingly well. But man, there's something, like it inspires a lot of confidence the way this suspension is. I mean, my gosh, it is so solid. Every Emira is good. These are roads I've never been on before, and like it makes you feel like you can go fast even when you haven't done it yet before. I think because it gives you so much confidence in how it feels, and it is also an advantage of, you know, anytime a car has been through a life cycle where you know, a few years in, they get to, you know, make some changes, they can really iron things out. And this car feels very ironed out, and it's really fast. You know, 0 to 60 in 3.9, 186 miles per hour. This is one of the few cars I feel like, all right, I'll drive this car 186 miles an hour. Like, I feel like, you know, it inspires that level of confidence, whereas, you know, something like when you get into an Elise or an Exige, amazing cars, but top speed is not exactly the thing that you might be wanting to do in them.
Yeah, I am noticing just differences between 420 Sport and the regular turbo.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that I'm not hearing as many pops and bangs in the exhaust note as the regular turbo car. Of course, this does have a titanium exhaust on it.
Yeah.
So it is a more serious exhaust, but
and a different tone.
Maybe a slightly different tone, and the main thing is I don't hear those pops, but that could be the way you're driving it as opposed to the way I drive it.
That's true. I mean, I'm actually driving fairly low in the rev range here, but it's just so much fun, and it does offer a level of drama and theater that I don't think the V6 has. Like the V6 is, I mean, it's more of a long form versus short form.
Yeah. Also, the suspension of this car is very different. It feels very firm to me.
Yeah.
Much more firm than my sport suspension in the V6.
You think so?
So it is, you know, you can kind of feel it rocking around like a flat board.
Yeah.
Which is not a criticism.
No,
it's just focused.
I love that feeling. It really is what I dreamed a car would be like as a kid, what a supercar could be like. You know, it would be something that looks this good.
Now, you're not saying it's a supercar.
I am told that it's not for some reason that is unclear to me. I think I don't know if it's just Lotus is too humble, or if it's like, I don't know why. I mean, I always felt like it was because they were less expensive that they didn't quite make the supercar right. But like, I mean, it's a $150,000 car. It certainly looks as good as any McLaren, and
we are at the top of the range now, and of course the top of the range has grown higher.
Well, and if the 911's not a supercar, but a GT3 is a supercar, then like, I don't know. This is awfully darn close. Yeah, but what I think I really like about this one is it really feels like it has this dual personality, where I had an automatic mode while we were just driving around town, and it's just totally comfortable. I mean, you still got the stiff suspension, but like easy to drive. And then you get it out here and you rip in it, and it's just, I mean, it's it just feels so fast, and it just feels so, the way it lays down is just, it really just feels amazing. Like I said, this is what I dreamed a supercar would be like, and it was having like this, you know, the turbo sounds and the swooshing sounds and that technology, I think. And really want to thank Mike at Getaway Driving here and Boardwalk Lotus for making this possible. I flew out of Boston yesterday for this kind of whirlwind trip, given this opportunity, and it's, man, what a great day. And it's so cool to see one of these in the flesh and actually get to drive it, really see what it's like. Lotus they just make the coolest cars. I love the refinement. I love just what it feels like to be in it. It just truly special. And I think the orange with the carbon and the orange pinstriping, I mean, we saw a purple one earlier, so the other loaner that's in the country is a purple one. And I love that purple. But I think with this one, you can get the orange accents on the interior that really do, it brightens up a place that's overall very like focused, and like a good rug, it ties the room together. You know, the Elise couldn't really shrink around you because it was already pretty shrunk. But this, considering how much wider this is and a bigger car, like it doesn't feel like a big car, you know? Yeah, and if our Apple fan club is watching, we see you. And I need a new battery for my iPhone. I was talking to Mike about this earlier, but one of the things I really like about the Emira and the turbos is just how approachable it is and like its dynamic range of ability and the driver. So one of the things that I loved my Elise, and I love the small platform cars and the really hardcore stuff, but those do take a lot of knowledge and some skill and technique, really just to use them at all, much less really get the most out of them and have a lot of fun. The Emira just makes that entry point a bit easier. I think more people can enjoy this and get a lot out of it. Just the learning, and then still it has this massively extended capability for a great driver, which Mike is and I am not. But more people can enjoy it and have fun with it. And I think, I'm not into the gatekeeping or anything like that. Like, I want more people to try, to have fun with these cars and go do stuff that they didn't think they could do. And I think that's what's so cool about this car, is that it can really open it up. Like, it's so good and it's so livable. And I think that's the mark of a really great car, actually. It's like, if it takes a lot of technique just to use it, it might be great, but when you can make it easy to use and still have such high limits, I think that's what makes a truly, truly great car, because you got it right from the bottom up. And that means fundamentally it's just so solid and strong as an idea, as a platform. And it is obviously the thing that Lotus is best at, and refining the Evora platform into the Emira platform and having the time to get it right. I mean, this thing, it's just an amazing experience, and it's something that I think this car can give people the supercar kind of experience that they want, and it can be open to more people, and I think that's a great thing. And while it's expensive for sure, it's less expensive than virtually anything else like this. I don't think there's another $150,000 you can spend to get something this cool, brand new, the warranty and the color you want, and
which is Tangelo orange.
Which is Tangelo. I mean, there's just, after seeing it, it is.
I saw Tangelo orange on an earlier V6 car. They did release it as a 2025 color.
Right.
There are not a lot of them out there because 2025 was interrupted by a tariff production halt. But seeing it on this car with the extra bits and bobs, it is a gorgeous color.
Yeah, and it's funny, I'm not always a fan of the oranges that are a little darker, but this one is just, it's so rich. When you look at the flake, it almost like your eyes blur almost, because there's so much, there's just so much iridescence, and like it.
There's a lot of metallic flake and a lot of dynamic contrast across the surfacing.
Yeah, this thing just looks like $1 million. There's just, and it drives like it. And I think that's got to be the best part, that it can look this good and perform this well, and you can take off the top. So that's, how much better can it get? This is, it's just such an incredible experience. I'm so grateful to Mike and Boardwalk for making this happen, setting aside the time, and it's just such a such a great experience. And if you're looking to buy an Emira or a pre-owned Elise, check out Boardwalk. They have quite the inventory, and they're really nice folks to work with.
Yeah, they've got a few Elises right now, including one that's 1,500 miles on.
Yeah, they got a couple really nice ones. And probably the biggest selection of Emiras in the country in stock, or close to it.
Certainly close to it. They've had the biggest inventory for a while. Inventories always change, and they've been selling cars, but usually they're a dealer that likes to hold a lot of inventory, because they know that sports car buyers don't always want to wait, and if you want to show up and buy an Emira and drive it this weekend, well, your spec is more likely to be at a place like Boardwalk than it is some other place that only has a handful of cars.
Yeah. Yeah.